What's up, Dunwoody? Welcome back to the podcast. It's all about Dunwoody, Georgia. My name is Matt Weber. The show is brought to you by Dr. Brett Friedman with Village Orthodontics and our friends at Discover Dunwoody. And I've got a friend here with me tonight, or today. I don't know why I said tonight. Coach Bass. Coach is Principal Bass, but does anybody call you Principal Bass?
If they don't know me, they might, but usually it's all Coach Bass because I'm awfully proud of that title. So
it doesn't roll off the tongue. I like being Coach Matt as well. My nephew, whenever he says Uncle Matt, he called me Coach Matt one time because I did coach his team for a few years. And I'm like, dude, will you call me that for the rest of my life? Like, I'll be Coach Matt. You don't have to call me Uncle Matt.
I can address you as that today if you'd like.
Please do. Please do. Or sir.
I love it.
But so today, Coach is here to talk about the Bring It Home campaign. We've been on the podcast before talking about other campaigns in the past, but this one is super exciting. And I'm glad that I got you on as quick as we could because this really just kind of kicked off the last couple of weeks. So tell us about the Bring It Home campaign.
Matt, this is a game changer. It's a game changer for the entire Dunwoody community, not just Dunwoody
and my family.
And your family, for anybody in Dunwoody, actually. The Bring It Home campaign, a little quick background. For well over 20 years, Dunwoody has wanted and hoped to have events, big time events, hosting events, including Friday Night Football here at Dunwoody and creating a stadium and a complex. And finally, after all these years, recently we've had it voted upon by the board and it was approved and it is a go. And the Bring It Home campaign is one family, one field. We are bringing this home. Friday Night Lights, in addition to other events, band competitions, other big sports events, but we're bringing it home on our field to Dunwoody, we hope, within the next year to year and a half.
It's pretty exciting. The fact that, my son's in 8th grade and I had never heard about any of this. And then all of a sudden, there was talks about possibly having it done by next year. I'm not sure how that's possible. That's going to be really tough, but the next year and a half would be amazing.
Well, the thing is, and here's the thing, the reason why it's a possibility is we have 1,000 seats right now.
Yeah.
We're actually adding 2,000 more seats, a press box, fencing, and then we're also raising additional funds, which I'm sure we'll talk about, for concessions and for restrooms and green space. But all that, it's not really concrete stadium. It's all everything around it, so it can happen. We
you just need the seating by then.
That's exactly right.
That's exciting. Very cool. Very cool. So what kicked all this off? I've heard about this donor now for years, and DeKalb County was somewhat blocking this money from getting to the school. And what kind of stemmed? How did this happen all of a sudden?
Well, like I said, basically within the last 20 years ago, there was the Wildcat Fund, a group of our parents and community were trying to make this happen, and it kind of was stalled from the county. We couldn't get it, we couldn't get it passed, we couldn't get it voted upon, and finally, when this happened, and they realized that we did have a donor, which at another time that will come out as far as our donor was willing to put up funds that would cover, as I said, the 2,000 seats, the press box, and the fencing area to make it a reality. And it is a reality because it's voted upon. And now we've formed this whole Bring It Home campaign that we just kicked off, as you said, and we'll talk more about that, to raise $1.5 million that will additionally have a state-of-the-art restrooms, concessions, green space for kids, really make it just an amazing feel at Dunwoody High School to host Friday Night Football as well as other big events.
Yeah, and the renderings looked amazing. So
it really
I'm glad
is.
that whatever happened, I've heard Andrew Ziffer, I've heard, there's a whole lot of turnover with the board lately, but I'm just happy that it happened. So that's wonderful. Whatever happened, I'm happy with it.
Andrew Ziffer stepped up huge for us, as our, representing us on the board. He has been a great leader for us in this charge. And you, by the way, you had mentioned the renderings. You can go to bringithomedunwoody.com. That's where it all happened. In fact, that's where everyone needs to go. Go to bringithomedunwoody.com to really understand the scope, the essence of everything that's going to happen. It is all on that website, for sure.
Yeah. Just the idea of bleachers, that's kind of cool. But when you see the photos, you're like, wow, that's what, our stadium could look like. And people keep telling me not to use the word stadium, but it is kind of those bleachers are huge. Like that's what a stadium is considered to me, like a small college campus stadium.
That's exactly right. And if you come to our facility right now, like I said, we have 1,000 seats that are kind of spread out. This will be a little more condensed, but it'll be 20 rows high. So we have a press box. It's going to be a great field nestled within the trees there. It's going to be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. And it will be cool to not have to go to North DeKalb Stadium for all of the different things, like homecoming and, all of you could have all of the sports there. But so I want to talk about some of the issues that I've heard. There's some people complaining about parking. There's some people complaining about the noise. And before we started, you kind of addressed both of those issues. So tell me what you said before.
So let's talk about the noise. First of all, the noise is not going to be an issue because it's a new state-of-the-art sound system that's going to be put on that basically the noise, of course, people say, well, for football alone, it's only 5 nights a year. But even with that being the case, still those 5 nights, it's not going to be any worse, louder than it is right now. We have a sound system right now for all of our spring and fall sports. As far as the parking, the great irony is when you tabulate the number of parking spots, we're actually going to have more parking than is available at North DeKalb because we have our facility. We're going to have the usage of St. Luke's Church. We have Dunwoody Elementary, Vanderlyn, and we're like I said, it's going to be a true just community walk to a game feel for everybody involved. It's going to be fantastic.
And I was telling you, I went to my first Dunwoody football game last week at North DeKalb Stadium, and you're right, there wasn't that much parking. Like we parked at I don't remember what it was, Crate and Barrel, and walked over, which is fine, but it's such an amazing feel. And I forgot how that feels. I went to Georgia, and that was like, obviously like a huge college atmosphere, but the high school game atmosphere is just different. And like, it's just everybody, as you're walking up, you see a bunch of people that, like I got to the line and I saw a bunch of people that I knew. I was standing behind the set, somebody from my neighborhood in line. It's a cool thing. And I brought both my kids. I've got a 14-year-old and a 10-year-old, and they saw a bunch of their friends there. It was really fun. You were down on the field.
And the thing is, Matt, I'm sorry, Coach, the thing about this is, and this is about this whole our concept of the Bring It Home campaign and bringithomedunwoody.com, is we call it one family, one field, because really it's about the vertical of the elementary to the middle to the high to beyond those to the alumni. Everyone, I really kind of compare it to almost like the kind of Lambeau Field vibe in that everybody kind of owns a piece of it. And that's what the feel is for the Bring It Home campaign, is that literally, we hope, and figuratively though, everybody will feel like they own a piece of this because they've wanted this to happen in Dunwoody for so long. I've been around since 94, in and out of Dunwoody here, teaching, coaching, administrating. And this has been talked about for all these years. So, the fact that it's happening is so exciting.
Yeah. And with Coach Nash passing away recently, I've just heard so much about, how kids are, and he started this, and I'm sure you had a lot to do with it too, but like the junior Wildcats and that kind of thing. So that the kids are
to class now.
Welcome to high school.
Welcome to high school.
Welcome to high school.
But the kids
the 11th graders are returning to class right now. I just want you to know that the 11th graders are returning. But actually, you're the timing of that statement. First of all, the passing of Mike. What a great man, and what a great tribute to him. His service was just.
It really
so
was.
Many people there just celebrating his life and who he was, and he started this Junior Wildcat program, which, as we talked, like I said, this facility, the Bring It Home campaign, and the stadium, the seating is for everybody, like I said. But as far as football specific, he started a whole Junior Wildcat program. All these kids, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, excited about Dunwoody football. He brought it on, and and Mike was just every bit a huge part of it, and also, of course, a huge advocate of what we're doing here with the Bring It Home campaign and what's about to happen at Dunwoody High School.
And lacrosse. It's cool to see. And we had this where I grew up in Gwinnett, where it's, the middle school kids it's just a training facility, they're breeding. It's like a breeding ground for football. It's a breeding ground for lacrosse. And so they see the same coaches, they see, the same atmosphere coming up and going into high school, which I think that's really cool. And the stadium is just, I don't know. It just came at like a special time, like it was. This is exactly what Coach Nash would have loved. And he's been fighting for forever.
He was overly enthused about everything that is happening. And
I know he was.
And down to the end, he was just so excited about where we are and the excitement that we had it approved, and it's a go, which is fantastic.
Yeah, that's awesome. So look, let's kind of go into the facility thing. So concession stand, bathrooms, those are very, very much needed. What else was on there? It was the fencing.
So basically, the 2,000 seats, the press box, the fencing,
Press
everything
box.
that surrounds that was board approved, voted upon, and a go. We are
Okay.
all privately funding, and that's where the Bring It Home campaign is involved. And like I said, if they go to bringithomedunwoody.com, they'll find out about giving and being a part of it. We are raising funds, private funds, for no taxes involved because it's privately funded. Their donation, but we're raising funds for a state-of-the-art concession, restrooms, a beautiful. We have a plan for green space area where kids can hang out and throw the football around while the game's going on.
Yeah.
Just and then some. So we have, there was even discussion of a new scoreboard, and it all depends on how we, as a team, as a family, raise these funds to take this to even another level. Even though it's going to happen regardless, this will bring it to really a state-of-the-art level that we would want it to be right here in the middle of Dunwoody.
Discover Dunwoody is working tirelessly to put our city on the map as a premier destination for visitors. They're constantly updating their social media with exciting local events, dining options, and hidden gems that make Dunwoody special. Make sure to follow at Discover Dunwoody on Instagram and Facebook for the latest updates and insider tips. Check out their YouTube channel. It's packed with engaging videos showcasing our beautiful parks, attractions, and community events. If you know someone planning a trip to the Atlanta area, make sure they visit whatsupdunwoody.com/hotels to find the perfect hotel in Dunwoody. When they book through that link, they're helping support this podcast and everything we do to highlight our community. So let's spread the word about all the amazing things Dunwoody has to offer. And for local events happening in the area, head over to whatsupdunwoody.com/events. Yeah, and I probably should have asked you before we started, but the levels of giving, do you get your name on different things? I think I saw something about that, right?
You do. In fact, I challenge everybody to, at the bare minimum, get the I brought it home yard sign. If you go to the website, you'll see how you get that. There's a QR code. I'll even get right in there for you. They can click on that QR code. But they basically, there's all different levels of giving, and from $20 to corporate sponsorships. In fact, we have corporate. If there's a corporate, you go corporate at bringithomedunwoody.com. But they go there, and it's just there's different levels of giving. Of course, each level, as you know, would give you a different item, even up to having a road named after your family. I mean, it's a legacy project for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I guess the corporate, are you allowed to put their name all over everything? If it's at the stadium? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The
so
plan
Home Depot gives money. It says Home Depot on different things.
Yeah. There's different levels of giving, of course, but that, the concessions could be named, there's, but of course it can actually be named Rose, the Bass family, row X, you know what I mean? If we get, all that. Absolutely.
Okay. So what point is the plan to start the construction? Is it after the money is raised, or how does that work?
That's a great question. So, as I said,
I'm on a time frame here. I mean, my son's going to be at school next August. So.
Listen, I want your son to be at the homecoming game here at Dunwoody next year. That's my goal, is for homecoming next year to be late, maybe around November, and to celebrate him as a freshman here on that field. Okay?
Yes.
He may even be nominated in the court.
He might be.
But no, that is the goal, honestly. The construction is going to start. We're trying to reach our community goal, like I said, of $1.5 million to cover the other items beyond the seating and the press box and the fencing and all that. And then the goal will be to start the construction in the area of early spring, maybe February or March, with roughly a 9 to 12 month build out. Once all the contracts are taken care of, we're full speed ahead. I mean, we believe that this community will wrap their arms around this project, because they've waited for over 20 years, and dive in and open those checkbooks and do what they can, whether it's $20 or $20,000, to try and make this happen. And we're off to a great start. Like I said, if you go to the website, again, bringithomedunwoody.com, you'll see where we are, who's giving, and get yourself a yard sign. You need to do it. That means you're a giver. Be a part of it.
Well, in a time where the elections are going on right now, I have seen as much Bring It Home stuff as anywhere. Can you tell me a little bit about the people that are behind you, the people that are really working to get this done? Because it surprised me. I thought it was going to be like old football dads there. And when I showed up to see the renderings, it wasn't. It was like young, everybody was younger than me, which I was totally not expecting.
So great question. So basically, of course, our man Fortenberry, Steve
Yeah, well, he
Fortenberry,
was leading the charge, I'm sure. Yeah.
he's part of my and Roger Gay, who's one of our teachers here, who's he's been around for years. We kind of been meeting on this, and we got started conceptually, and we said, look, we need to bring in a great group of people who are social media, who are fundraisers, who have students that are coming up from elementary to middle, to some that have students that have graduated. But we put together a crack team, and I wouldn't dare start naming names right now because I would hate to leave somebody off. But basically, we've have about 15 of us at least that meet weekly. We've been doing it for about 2 months now to get ready to where we are. Like last week was really the rollout of the website and everything. And there's a great video. You've got, if not anything else, go to bringithomedunwoody.com to see the video. Okay.
Yeah.
The video is amazing. But we
Trey actually did a listing video for me. I had this really nice listing, and he came over and did like a drone, and he makes some good stuff. So I was glad that he got involved in it.
Absolutely.
And his kids were football players too, so it worked out well.
That's exactly right. I mean, but I'm, with that, like I said, I wouldn't dare start naming everybody's name, but I can just tell you that it's a team of about 15 individuals representing not having a kid at Dunwoody, but just caring about the project, to an elementary through those that have alum. I mean, it's just a wide array, as you said. Like at that event we had, everybody wants to embrace this project because we've all been wanting this for so many years, and it's a reality, and it's exciting.
Yeah, it was a great feeling. Absolutely. Okay, so I think we've addressed everything as far as Bring It Home. I know that you don't want to talk about yourself, but when we were at that thing, everybody just thinks, since you've come back to the school, you are just beloved at Dunwoody High School. So thank you for everything that you've done there. How did you end up back at the school? I know that you were there a long time ago, and then you went off to take, was that your first principal gig?
No, I actually, so quick. Well, first of all, let me say this. Thank you very much. Dunwoody, I'll say, I don't want to go down a rabbit hole, but Dunwoody.
Let's go down a rabbit hole. Tell me.
Right, I'm going to tell you now, Dunwoody is just such a special place. It really is. And unless you're a part of Dunwoody, I don't just mean Dunwoody High School. I mean Dunwoody, the city of Dunwoody.
Yeah.
You don't realize how great the community is, how much people it's that great small town feel in the middle of Atlanta, and everybody just has such pride. I mean, it literally is true pride. We call it Wildcat pride here, but it really is Dunwoody community pride in what's here. That's why this project is so big. And so for me, I came here in 94. I was the head baseball coach for 15 years. I taught English. We were blessed to win the state championship in 07. And I became an assistant principal here. And then I have 3 daughters, and they went to school all up at Lambert High School up in Forsyth. So for 9 years, I went up there, looked after them. I was, assistant principal, helped with baseball there as well. Mm-hmm. We did win a state championship up there also.
I like how you just sliding these in.
But then I was blessed to have the opportunity to come back to DeKalb, to come back to Dunwoody. And I can't believe it, Ray. This is my 5th year back as the big cheese here. And I'm so blessed. I mean, the staff is amazing. The kids are amazing. It's just, Dunwoody is such a great school. And that's why, for me, who truly, whenever that day comes or anybody leaves here, to come back and have that opportunity to see that excitement on a Friday night for whether it's football or anything at our home field is just going to be second to none. It really is.
Absolutely. And, that parade feeling, that hometown feeling. You were our grand marshal a few years ago, and Coach Nash got to do it again, got to do it this year. Dunwoody is a special place. It really is. And
there's nothing better than that 4th of July. I mean, I tell people, I'm like, same thing. Unless you show up and experience the 4th of July play, even me, who was in pouring rain that year, I'm still wet from that thing.
Yes.
It was amazing. It's just amazing. It's a greatest event. And we're also being a big part of the Light Up Dunwoody event this year as well. So we'll be at that also, which I'm excited about. We're going to be talking about bringing home Dunwoody, and that's going to be a big event that we're being a part of as well.
Yeah, we had a podcast about that last week. I just put it out yesterday. Yeah,
perfect.
They're raising money, so that's great. When you were part of the parade, that was one of my favorite parade moments. That there's been a lot of parade moments, but when we started up that parade, this is 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago. It just started pouring down rain, and if you don't know the story, like we were waiting and waiting and waiting, and then it's just go. So everybody went, and it immediately was raining sideways. And, I'm I think it was my third year with the parade. And so I was like, oh man, people aren't going to enjoy this. Everybody's going to go home. And so I'm like walking, kind of catching up towards you guys at the front. And it was about the moment when I saw you in Fortenberry just like raising your hands and getting all excited. And I looked around and nobody had left. Everybody was still there. And there was this old man that you were pointing at. And this guy, eventually he just was like, screw it. And he took his umbrella and he put his umbrella down and he just laid it beside him and just sat in the rain. And I was like, wow, like everybody's still here. It was such a cool feeling. And I was like, I remember I came up, I was like kind of teary eyed. I remember like hugging y'all. I was like, thank you for, leading the charge.
It was amazing. Fortenberry and I were in that car, and I'm like, man, let's just go. Let's own it. And so we hopped out, and we were dancing
got out
around.
of the car.
It's just that Dunwoody. It's Dunwoody. It's just that I call it the Dunwoody experience. And unless you really are part of it, you don't get it. But when you do get it, you understand how special Dunwoody really is.
Yeah. And I'm just now realizing how much of the high school is a big part of that. And you are a big part of the high school. So you and Nash and Fortenberry. So appreciate all that you guys do. We're excited to be there next year, taking my kids out of private school into Dunwoody High School, and they're ready to go. They're really excited about it.
Well, I think you and I next year, we should sit back in those new bleachers.
Okay.
With that underneath that new press box, with the new restrooms and new concessions, just revel in the fact that we brought it home, brought it home to Dunwoody, and we're going to do it, and we need everybody to be a part of it.
Yeah, we can sit in the Bass family section.
Let's go. I'm ready. You can even join me. I'll call you Coach.
All right. Awesome. That's it. I'll do it. Okay. Well, cool. Thanks for coming on. We're going to try to update this, in a few months, maybe get some of the young moms to come on.
Perfect.
I think that would be really cool. Kind of get to know them because, Nina Arnold, I did know her. The rest of everybody, I didn't really know. And I just thought it was really cool that these young moms who have kids in first and second grade are looking forward to the high school that much that they're going to, bring it home with you.
It's amazing. And, like I said, everybody plays a role in this. We've got two different teams. You got the fundraising, the social media, of course, the construction phase led by an amazing person who doesn't like his name brought out there, but he's an amazing developer that's doing it. And so there's so many wonderful people involved in this that I'm fortunate to be a part of it.
Yeah. And I think everybody's like that. Everybody wants to stay low key and just do their thing. Nobody wants it to make it about them. And so even the donor. I mean, I think it's just amazing how all of this is coming together, and I'm excited about it. So thanks for coming on. Thanks for all you do at the high school. And we'll talk soon.
Bring it home, Matt.
There you go. That was a great exit.